Okay. All right. Hello, for joining me on this live video. My name is Tasha. If you are here for the first time, hello and welcome. On Mind Your Money, every Thursday, I have a live and surrounding personal finance content, mostly around budgeting. And I have asked the viewers to give me their topic ideas that they would like to discuss. So one viewer asked to discuss the fear of getting started. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm going to just give this quick disclaimer. I am not a therapist. I am not a licensed financial here sharing tips and ideas, knowledge and education based on experience that will hopefully help you on your journey, whether that's towards financial freedom or whatever you might be fearful of, afraid of, scared of doing. Stepping out on the water might seem scary to you, but hopefully whatever I share today will inspire you and encourage you. And before you leave the live today, please make sure to click that thumbs up button, letting YouTube know that you like this video, you like this type of content, so they can share it with more people who have a vision for their future of the fear of getting started. Now, I do live near an airport also. This is the second disclaimer. So sometimes there may be airplanes flying overhead. It does kind of fuddle with the Wi-Fi. I'm sitting like directly on top of my router right now. So hopefully we don't have hiccups. But if we do, please forgive it. Please be gracious in your comments. And I see some people coming in. So I want to say hello before I start the presentation. I see Mo is here right now, so we are in the afternoon. I am on the East Coast. Hello, I like you. I like your channel. I don't remember your name right now, so forgive me, but Cash Locks and Life, if you're here and you have not seen her channel, please go check her out. And hey CB, and hey Tara from Journey to Wisdom and Wealth. I appreciate you guys for coming. I'm hoping that today will go smoothly, okay? And that whoever the person was, I'm thinking of, asked to talk about the fear of starting. And it wasn't specific when I think it was a she. Most of my viewers are women, right? She asked about the fear of getting started. Maybe that's the fear of getting started with budgeting. Because this is a budgeting channel. We talk about the mindset behind it. We talk about our journey to financial freedom. I share with you our real numbers because I feel like it shouldn't be something to be embarrassed about, because everyone starts at zero and then we just build from there. It could be maybe some people who are watching also want to create their own platform and create a community of support. And that's good to do. It's a great way to earn a little extra money. It's also a great way to just allow yourself to expand beyond the box that people might try to put you in. So I feel like every woman should have something that she does that adds happiness and value to her life. So hopefully what I share with you today will increase that understanding and give you the boldness to get on. All right. And yeah, thank you for sharing your name again, because I'm sure you told me before, so forgive me. All right, so let's get started with this. I don't know if you have been here before, but I normally ask what you're eating for lunch. So let me know what you're eating for lunch. Let me know where you're viewing from, so that hopefully we can get to know each other a little better. And if there's anyone in the comments or anyone watching in the live stream has other tips that you want to share, communicate with each other, talk to each other, encourage each other. We're here to build each other up. All right, so the fear of getting started, not easy to talk about, because you have to think about, well, what am I afraid of? And who's going to see what I'm doing? I have been there, because I always feel like, hello, we don't know who is watching us. We don't know who we know in real life, who we went to school with, who we used to work for or work with. If they're going to watch me, they're going to see me doing these things, and what are they going to think of me? You have to pinpoint what you're fearful about and realize that your neighbor or your coworker, your college friend, your professor, whoever, they are not the ones that you should be in competition with or you should be afraid of. You should be thinking to myself, I can actually do great things because greatness is within me, right? So the first thing that I typed out, and this is for you to say to the person or persons you feel like they might judge you differently because you're ready to start something and it's brand new and you're afraid what they're going to think. And this is you as in the first person. I am not in competition with you. And you don't necessarily have to say that to the person that you are thinking is going to have an issue or a problem or judge you incorrectly. All you need to do is say this: I am not in competition with you. You write it down, you say it, and you get over it. Why? Out of love, you guys, I'm saying this out of love and out of just a general, I really want to inspire and motivate you to get past that fearful stage. You're great, and that is great. You're great because greatness is in you, because you were created in the image and likeness of a God who loves you tremendously. And there's nothing anyone can do to stop it or to bring it down unless you allow them. So your first declaration is, I am not in competition with you, because the only person you're in competition with is who you were before today, yesterday, last week, last year. Know why you are great. Know why, what gifts you have, what giftings you have, what is your capacity for greatness. That is what you're focused on, not who might be jealous or upset or afraid or judge you incorrectly. This is who you're in competition with. Meet your competition. For example, I don't know if you can see my mouse moving on this screen, but this is you last week, for example, right? This is you last week, confused, unsure, not knowing how you want to step out, if you want to step out and do something different, start a channel, start budgeting, start writing a book, start acting, apply for certain jobs that maybe you felt, oh, I'm not qualified for. This was you last week, but this is you next week. This is you after realizing that the only person you have to compare yourself to or you have to compete with is who you were before. Meaning now over here, you were like, I don't even know if I want to do this because I might get laughed at, I might get mocked, I might stumble over my words, I might not look the best. Whatever the doubt is, the only person you're in competition with you, because you can start a course. You can go on YouTube and search for whatever you're looking for. If you want to be a chef, then maybe you start watching cooking videos, cook with me's and things like that. If you want to take a course, there are free low-cost courses that you can take. Maybe you take a master class, and after you start studying and to show yourself approved and start making yourself available to increase, to grow in knowledge and all of that, then this is you over here, confident and unbothered, which is what I want all of us to know to do. This is your competition. You are the only person you need to compare yourself to and compete with. All right. And let me take a break to see what you guys are eating, because all I'm eating right now is kombucha. I'm drinking kombucha. Oh, Chinese food. Okay, you're in Central Time. Okay, I love oatmeal. Awesome. And Angel is eating hot wings. Awesome. And Desiree is eating an apple and some rips. Candy? Okay. All right. So does that make sense? Once the first thing I feel like anybody needs to do when they're trying to get over fear is find out what it is you're afraid of. And for most people, sometimes a little pride gets in the way because you want to see, well, so and so is doing this and so is doing that. And if I start doing it, I might not be the best at it because look at what they're doing. The only competition you have is yourself. Compare where you were to where you are, and then continue to do that so you grow. So you can do introspection. You can look inside yourself and say, what do I want to do better? Because if we compete with our friend, our neighbor, our foe, whoever, then we're not being our true authentic selves. And then also figure out, okay, remind yourself that you are not who hurt you. There are planes going overhead, so I hope I'm not cutting out too badly. I am not who hurt me is the next declaration, because you are not the person. Some people are lessons in life, okay? Some people are only there for a season. So maybe you are afraid to get started on something because somebody told you that you weren't good enough, or you didn't look pretty enough, or whatever it was. Somebody said something that hurt you to your core, and you have to feel that so you can get through and get past and get over that trauma or that hurt, that pain. And realizing that some people are just lessons. Maybe that was a 5-year lesson, that was a 6-year lesson, but now it's over. Few people are in your life forever. And those are the few people you want to think you want to hold on to, because you're going to go through some ups and downs, but those are the people that you want to keep close to you. And remember that you're not who hurt you. You're not who traumatized you. You're not that person. You are someone else who is going to step forward and grow past it. It is not always going to feel easy. It's not always going to feel good, because when you're learning and growing, when you get past the fear part, like the fear of starting, when you don't let it stop you and you push past it, you're going to have to go through some lessons. You're going to have to learn some things about yourself, some things you might like, some things you might not like. But the reality is, you're not who hurt you. You're not who traumatized you. You are, again, the person who's in competition with themselves, not with anybody else. And ask yourself this question: am I better this week than I was last week? Have I made any progress in the area where I'm struggling with because of fear? Right? And ask yourself, are you still here? Are you still breathing? Because if you are, then you have an opportunity to pursue that passion, that goal, that college education, that second degree, that master's degree, that doctorate, starting that business, buying your first property, whatever it is. Even if it's just writing a book, creating something, doing something, you're still breathing. You have the opportunity to move forward. And let this be a word of encouragement right now, hearing from me. You can do what you are afraid to do. You just have to remember that you're only competing with yourself. You're not who hurt you, and you have greatness within you. So why not just stir it up and let it come out however it needs to, right? This is how you get there. If you're asking yourself, well, how do I get to the point where I'm not afraid, I just do it, right? I'm not worried about who might see it or who, because people in your life, whether they're friend or foe, are going to see what you're doing, and somebody's going to have something to say about it, whether positive or negative. So how do we get past that part where you're fearful of that? You have to know that you are enough. Take your hands off of your head. Stop worrying about who might see it and you are enough. Lean into the greatness that you have. Lean into the Lord. Lean into God and say, hey, God, I know you have something great for me, and I want to know what it is. Because that's the number one. Our relationship with God is the number one relationship that we need in order to know what we're to do, how we're to do it, when to stop, when to go. That's it. We can lean on friends, and we should lean on accountability partners. Those are people we can lean on, but our trust and our foundation of our lives is in the one who created us, right? And the first thing of, once you get past that point, once you know, okay, I am my only competition. I'm not who said this negative thing about me. I'm not this person. I am created in the image and likeness of God. I have greatness and creativity within me, and I can do more than just the bare minimum. I can do more. And you just really have to step out, because it's not going to be perfect the first time you do that thing, whatever that thing is. I'll use YouTube as an example since we are here right now. I started my first YouTube channel is Tasha Loves Life. I started 3 years ago. Just before 2020 happened, I started that channel. I had a friend and a co-worker dear to me do my makeup. I researched, I watched videos for months before I decided, okay, I'm just going to do it. It wasn't perfect the first time. I was shaky. I was pausing a lot. There were so many things that were wrong with it, but I stepped out. But the more I did it, the more I trusted God, the more I prayed, the more I wrote down ideas, the more I brainstormed, the more I did a little bit of research here and there, the better I got. And the more I actually did it, because practically you can do all the research, you can say all the prayers, you can recite all the Psalms, but until you actually step out and do the thing that you want to do or that you are afraid of, that's when it starts to get better. That's when you can look back at videos, you can look back at your writings and say, oh, I did this wrong and I want to do this a little better, because you're comparing yourself to yourself. Are you growing? Are you increasing? Are you understanding things better? Because you can take all the tutorials and all the classes, you can do all of those, but until you know you are enough, until you start focusing on that, you're not going to see the growth, because you actually have to do the thing, right? Getting past the fear of who might see you, getting past the fear of who knows you in real life and might say, oh, who does she think she is? All of that, you just have to jump out and get to it, because the more you do it, the better you'll become. All right. Be ready to receive good things. Now that you know, okay, hey, I am not in competition with so and so. I'm not in competition with Susie. I'm in competition with me, the me I was last week, last year, last yesterday. Know that you can step out and because you deserve to. If you have a burning desire to do something, or if you just have a desire to do something, it could be a good thing. It could be something inside saying, hey, start this, do this. Okay, I'm going to check the cost. Is this something that will benefit me and benefit others? Then, hey, maybe I'll do it, right? Unless God says something else and says, no, don't do that. But if you have the okay, go ahead and do that. Breathe in, breathe out, exhale, and move forward, right? I constantly do this. I have to do this because, to be very honest with you and be transparent with you, there are times when, even now at this point, when I've been doing this for so long, I've been sharing so much of myself on this platform, on the internet, period. I started a website before I started my YouTube channel. I wrote my book before I started YouTube. I wrote my book before that, and I already had ideas for creating side income before I even got here. But I continue to work, and sometimes even now, 3.5 years later, maybe 4 years now, I still some days I feel like I don't know if I can do this, because I don't feel like I'm good enough, because I'm afraid of what people might think, or I'm afraid that I'll fail, or I'll embarrass myself, or I'll say the wrong thing, or I'll use the wrong word, or even the right word but in the wrong context. All of these things come at all of us. We all have something that, it comes at us, and we start to feel like, I can't do this. You've got to know that you can receive good things, and you should be ready to receive it. So even when you feel afraid, even when I feel afraid, I can't let that stop me, because I realize I am doing something that's good, that can bring awareness, that can bring inspiration, and that can also help me in my life, because budgeting, managing money, saving, getting out of debt, all the steps I took to get here, it took a fight, and it took me just pushing past the fear, because I also have children. So I know that my children are watching me. They may not see all these videos all the time, but they see me in real life actually planning and putting things in place. So that in itself is modeling a behavior that I want them to be able to mimic. Like, yes, you should be a person who is charitable and who gives. Yes, you should be a person who speaks highly of themselves and others, because you can't do that unless you're good to yourself. You can't be good to anybody else, and then you can't have that reciprocated. So I hope that makes sense. Be ready to receive good things. And what things are you good at? That's a question you should definitely ask yourself. What things are you good at? We watch a lot of videos on YouTube. I mainly watch YouTube only because, like, I'm doing different things. I'm doing a whole lot of different things. I have different projects going on. So I am watching and researching certain niches, I guess, on YouTube. And I'm seeing a lot of videos, and I'm seeing a lot of people doing things that I would like to do, but they have their own style. So if you're worried about, oh my gosh, all of these people are doing this, what do I have to offer? Well, you have plenty to offer. What are you good at? Are good at designing? Are you good at communication? Can you speak well? Are you good at praying? I don't know. Are you good at designing things? Are you good at telling jokes? Are you funny? Maybe you're very personable and people just, kind of flock to you because you have that certain aura. You smile, that je ne sais quoi, that thing that people don't know. I just like you. I just enjoy spending time with you. What are you good at? And then focus on those things so you can get better. And the only way you can get better is if you get past the fear, get past that fear portion. Realize that you are responsible for your own happiness. Okay. And I put trigger warning here. I think what I was thinking about is that I am a wife and a mother. Okay. But those are roles and not purposes. You're more than just the role that you play in life. A lot of your gifting can be used in your as a wife, if you're a wife, or a partner, a mother, if you are a mother, but those are not the purposes, because not all women are wives and not all women are mothers. And sometimes that might trigger some people, and I'm really sorry. That's why I put trigger warning. Yeah, because sometimes there are people who are trying to have children and it hasn't manifested yet. But God has a plan for all of you. But if you're not in it, that's not a purpose. Not every woman will be. Not every man will be a father. Not every man will be a husband. But your purpose is deeper than that. And if you want to know what that is, you have to seek out your creator for that. But then you also need to get past the fear of, if I'm not here yet by a certain time, am I going to fail? No, you're not going to fail. You just have to get started. And remember, you're looking at who you were yesterday and comparing it with today and say, what did I do differently today? Am I happier because of it? Because your children can't make you happy. Your spouse can't make you happy. Your friends can't make you happy. They can add happiness to your life, but you are responsible for activating it in a sense. If you let fear hold you back from getting started and doing what you want, then you kind of forsake that happiness. You kind of tell yourself, well, I'm not worthy of it, but you are. I'm here to tell you, you are. You are worthy of being happy too. You're worthy of even sharing a part of your greatness to whoever you feel led to. Serving makes you stronger. It does. Serving in at whatever capacity, serving as a daughter or a son, serving as a wife, serving as an employee, serving as a friend, serving as a mother or an auntie. Those are, we can serve. It makes us stronger. But you have to realize that what you do for you is so important, because you can't pour from an empty cup. You cannot pour into your children, to your spouse, to your employer, to your business partner, to your sister, your brother. You can't pour into everyone and not pour into you, right? And we can't make other people responsible for our happiness. We can't make other people responsible for the reason why we didn't get started, because we were afraid. So this is a question I have for you. What scares you about getting started? What is the thing that is preventing you from getting started with whatever it is you want to do? And is that? And I see a whole lot of people came in. What is the thing that you feel like is holding you back from taking that first step? And maybe those in the comments can encourage each other. Okay. Because this is not a one woman show. I know I'm leading this channel and all of that, but I want us to be able to communicate with each other. And if you see someone in there sharing something and you feel like you could help, or you could, okay, you are responsible for your happiness and it's in your control. Because what you do for yourself matters. I feel like I have to say this. I have failed at my own self-care, and I probably talk about it a lot. I've said it several times. Your self-care is important. Your self-care is important. But like, I haven't done things that I should like going to the gym. One of my vision goals for the year was to perfect my beauty routine, things like that. Simple things that mean a whole lot. It means a lot that I haven't done. And I realized that I'm starting to get a little bit, I'm going to say snippy, if you know what I mean by snippy, a little bit snippy, little attitude here and there, because I realized that I'm not doing things to fill my cup up. And I can't make my children or even my husband, I can't make my husband responsible for how if I feel happier to me. Yes, he brings joy to my life, but he is not the only person that's responsible for whether or not I'm in a good mood and I'm going to be nice to you today. So I realize if I'm lacking with my self-care, that's whether I'm doing my devotions in the morning, whether I'm exercising regularly, whether I'm having time to really take care of my skin and my hair and my body, my spirit. If I'm not taking care of those things, he is not responsible for that. It's me, because I have to be first priority after God, and then everybody from an empty cup. I want you to feel the same way. I just felt like I had to say that. Let me see. Failure. So that's what you're afraid of, the fear of failure. Okay. Not getting it perfect. I am not perfect right now. Not in the least. You see, this little hair is wiggling on the side. It's like, what is that? I need to fix my hair. I haven't done anything with it. And I could have said, you know what? I don't know how many people who watch this channel actually like me and find some value here and are going to pull something from anything I said that will help them in their real life. But I feel like if even one person who watches this live stream on any day says, you know what, she said something that hit me, and I think I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to use that to push me forward a little bit. Then that's worth it to me, even though it's not perfect. Every Thursday, so that's kind of a perfect example. I don't know when this is going to cut out on me. I don't know if this is the perfect setup. I don't know if it looks good in my background. I don't know if there's something in my teeth that I probably missed because I didn't floss a certain area. I don't know if I sounded well. I don't know if I used this word correctly, or if the screen looks jagged or something. You take the risk because the reward is bigger than the risk you take. Okay? Because you never know, it might not be 600 people that regularly watch your channel that get something from that video, that blog, or that post. It might just be one or two people. And that video that you share, that post that you share, that comment, that picture, that photo, that affirmation, whatever it is, was something that pulled them out of a dark place. And if it's just that one or two people, that's worth it to me. And if it's not something that you feel, okay, this is not, I did it as excellently as I could, but it didn't turn out as excellent as I thought. Well, then you can create something else, or you can shift or pivot or learn from those mistakes or those lessons so you can get better. The only way you're going to know if you're getting better is if you try. And that doesn't mean, of course, that you just do anything and you just put up anything and you just send out anything. No, you should take your time and be excellent at it. But don't put yourself in a lock you down and cause fear to override any good thing that you have inside because you're not letting it out. It's like plants need sunlight, right? You can't be afraid that if you open your window, somebody might walk past and see you. You still have to let the plants get the sunlight that they need, indirect or direct. You have to open it up, because if you keep it in the dark, it's going to dry. It's going to dry out and it will not thrive. You have to be willing to, if that makes sense. And you have to be willing to know that we are imperfect people. Just because we are imperfect doesn't mean we don't have a great value inside of us. And I shared a video on my other channel, Tasha Loves Life, probably 2 months ago now. And I was like, why am I doing this? I felt that I had the idea come to me, and I started writing things down because that's the first thing I do when I get an idea, I write it. It's really good and I felt excited about it. But then, when it came time to like record the video and then edit the video, I started doubting myself. I said, no, this is not good. Like, who's going to watch this? This is not good. But I got 2 comments under that video. One person said, you are right on time. This was right on time. And they were so grateful and so thankful for it. And it didn't matter that the video didn't get 1 million views, because that's not why I did it. I didn't do it and it's going to look like excellent, because that didn't do it. It was that imperfect video that I just shared what was on my heart and what I was experiencing. And 2 people were so grateful for it. And that was good enough for me. Didn't matter that it wasn't pristine and perfect, and the lighting wasn't perfect, and the sound probably wasn't perfect, but the message still came across. So again, you can apply this. It might not be for videos, but perfect. Oh my gosh, I was about to say that perfection is unstarted in its own way is actual failure, because it doesn't matter. I saw a video, somebody was asking, I think they were portraying like God speaking to a human. And he said, well, what happened to the 300,000 souls that I told you to reach in Asia? And the guy said, what? But I'm an accountant. I never knew I had to go to Asia. I'm an accountant. Why? Because the person was so afraid of stepping out and doing something great, because they were comfortable in that one position. And the interaction, but I watched that video, I let it loop like 5 times, because I got convicted, because I said to myself, are we doing that when we're basing our life out of fear? Are we telling ourselves that, okay, I can't do this because I might fail, it might not look good, I might not sound good, I might get embarrassed, I might feel embarrassed, whatever. But then you had a great thing you had to do, but you didn't do it because you were scared, and you stayed in a nice comfy box and you didn't do anything. And that's right. I'm doing everything is perfect. The sound, the music, the cuts, the whatever, the writing was perfect. Your hair look was popping. Your makeup was on point. Everything was good. Your fit was excellent. You were fit to a T. And then what happened? It wasn't even authentic. Because if we get caught up in the perfection of a thing, I think that's probably what causes fear to torment us, because we're like, oh gosh, if it has to be like absolutely perfect, and then you don't reach the people you were supposed to reach, which, and I agree with you, is actual failure, because you're not doing the thing that you were called to do, because you're trying to be perfect, and you don't need to be perfect right away. It doesn't need to be 100% excellent right away. That you get over time. Again, I'm not saying that you should just do anything and just write something and put it out there, but try and then get better as you go along. Finish this, and then I'm going to come back to the comments. But I hope this is good for y'all, because I'm feeling good about it. I hope you're receiving something good from this. Remember, you're responsible for your own happiness, and remember that you are a big deal. No, you're not perfect. No, everything you do is not going to be absolutely right. Sometimes you miss the mark, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try. You have to know you're a big deal. Whether you're quirky, whether you think somebody called you weird, or you talk different, you talk funny, you are a big deal, and you need to own it, period. You need to own who you are and who you are growing into, period. All right? I know that I can be very quirky sometimes. I can be very different, and that's just me. And I am learning, getting closer and closer to 40, almost 4 decades on the earth. I realize that I cannot base my value on someone else's opinion, or a false idea of it has to be so perfect before I do it. Sometimes you just have to press record and let it go. Sometimes you just have to step out and say, look, I'm going to do this. Because we can get in our own way, but you are a big deal. I know you are. There's a woman, I don't remember her name right now. I'm going to see if I can pull it up on my phone. Let me leave this up for a minute while I try to find it. Oh, Debt to None has a video that just dropped. Forgive me, because this is me after talking for 30 minutes, trying not to go off course, but I really have to find this person. She calls her, I think she does like combative compliments. If you haven't seen her on YouTube, on TikTok right now, I'm going to try to find her so I can share it with you, because I wrote all of this on this slide. I know you are, but I am too. Yes, you're a big deal. Your quirkiness, your happiness, your weirdness, sometimes you going back into your shell for a little bit, all of that, you're still a big deal and you need to own it. I wrote that and I said it in a way that I was hoping people would realize that even though it might feel a little bit like harsh, like Rayon, she coming at me. I am coming at you. I'm telling you right now that you are a big deal, that you are special, that you are unique, that you are worthy for it. Just do it. Just do it. I was in a relationship years ago that was very unhealthy. I was dealing with issues. Well, no, I wasn't dealing with issues. I was suffering from traumatic experiences and had not healed from them, had not dealt with them. And the person that I was in that relationship with took advantage of me in every single way. And it took years to get over that so I could actually live my life more happily than I'm doing a whole lot better. 15 years ago, you probably would have been like, who is this person? Because I was in a terrified state. And I needed someone to tell me that you are a big deal, that you are great and you are worthy of happiness and joy and to live your life fully. You don't have to live it under a rock, which is why I always say live life to its fullest. In the very beginning of this channel, at the end of every video, I would say live life to its fullest. Now I say live life abundantly, because you need to. You need to do it, because if you live under the rock of to see all the beautiful things that are happening around you. And life is going to happen. Sometimes you're going to be blunders, there are going to be oops, there are going to be blips, there are going to be all sorts of things that happen that are designed to throw you off course, but you can't let it. You shouldn't let it, because you deserve to have an abundant life. You deserve to let your creativity flow. You deserve to have good quality relationships. You deserve to start something that will build up your confidence. It's one of the things that has built up my confidence as a woman, as a person, as a human being, even as a wife and a mother. I have been able to overcome certain things, even more things in the last 3 years doing this than I ever have in my life. At every other job experience, I have so many different experiences, but this is what helped me kind of come out of that place of feeling like I'm not good enough, I can't do this, because I actually can. I'm doing things now that I didn't realize, either the inspiration or just the faith to move forward. And Tara says this all the time, and I have to shout her out because I think she might still be here. But let me tell you something: faith over fear. And not just this year, not just today, but every day. Even when in the middle of the day you feel the fear and you feel scared and you feel like I can't move forward with this, you're going to do it anyway. Why are you going to do it anyway? Because what started off as a good thing is still a good thing. Unless you feel like it's going to hurt somebody, then if it's going to hurt somebody, then you know not to do it. But if it's just the enemy coming to tell you this is not good enough, it's not going to look good, but you got to shut that out, and you have to move past it, because that's the only way you're really going to see breakthrough. And if you fall on your face, it's okay, because even the greatest of the great made failures. They made mistakes. Your mistakes are not what make you a person or give you value. It's the lessons you learn from the mistakes that give you value. I need to type that in here. Lessons from the mistakes that give you value, that increase your value. Because in case, StreamYard is skipping and all of that, I want you guys to see this and hear this. I forgot about who I was looking for. I was looking for the combative compliments. All right, let me see if I can. This is her. Please go and I don't want to play it just because I don't know YouTube would be funny. But if you can see my screen, please go and follow her. Because everything she says it with like a mean mug and a face, but she's being she's complimenting women. She's giving you inspiration, encouragement to move on. Like, yes, I hope you have a good day. You better have a good day. And let me tell you something else. You better not crawl under a rock and like just go out there and do it. You can still let me try because my goodness, I'm so fired up right now. This is a quote that I shared. I actually heard this morning and I shared it with my children before they went to school. I am going to use what I have because what I have is blessed. Let me know if that makes sense to you. I am going to use what I have because what I have is blessed. Use what you have in your hand, right? Use what you have to get to where you want to be or to start you on the path of where you want to be. Think about the money. Like maybe you're not making 2,000 a paycheck or 3,000 a paycheck. You're not bringing in 10K, 12K, 15K a month. Use what you have because what you have is blessed. And I've been saying this in different ways for the past 3 years since I've been here on this Mind Your Money channel. What you have is enough to make something else happen, to increase your income, to increase your savings, to invest as much as you have. Do not think that your little bit is not enough because what you have is blessed. Okay? And then focus. This is what I wanted to read to you. Focus. Being focused is not something to be ashamed of. And I'm going to read it from this card. I got this, I think it's from Cloth and Paper. Yeah, clothandpaper.com. What you do, whatever you do it with purpose. Being focused is not something to be ashamed of. It is something to be proud of. When you know what you are doing and have a clear vision of where you are going, you will not need to chase opportunities. Opportunities will seek you. Happiness will chase you. And instead of being a choice, you will be the one choosing. And that is the end of my presentation. So get past the fear and know that you can use what you have because what you have is blessed. If it, oh my gosh, I want to start a channel on YouTube, I want to start posting content, I want to create content, I want to share videos, I want to share my journey, but you're afraid to press record, or you're afraid to press upload, or you're afraid to press post. I think that's what it is, to post it or make it live. Listen to me. Use what you have. Oh, I need a camera. You don't need a fancy camera. You can use a cell phone. I still use my cell phone. And this is not even an iPhone. It's not an Apple product. It's a Samsung. Not a Samsung. It's an Android phone. And the camera quality is actually much greater than a previous phone I had. All right. So I don't think you should be afraid because, oh, I don't want to get started because I don't have the Canon, I don't have the Nikon, I don't have the perfect lighting. Use daylight when you can. Learn some editing. Skillshare. I think there are quite a few people on the platform who have Skillshare, like coupons or coupon codes, and you can use it. You can, and if you can't afford the courses right now, there's no shame. Go into YouTube University, type in youtube.com, search for what you're looking for, and I'm sure you will find a video or a few videos that will help you get started, get to know how do I get started with this if I want to. If you want to start budgeting, I started budgeting on my channel. My angle was all jacked up. Like it was jacked up. I couldn't believe that 100 people or so people even watched that video because the angle was all messed up. Got something from it. So if you want to start, okay, I need to budget. I need to start this. Start wherever you are and search for those videos. You'll find how to budget, budgeting for beginners, how to start a YouTube channel. Sean something, I don't remember his name right now, but if you know his name, put it in the comments. From oh my goodness, I'm not remembering the name, but there are so many people. I think it's Connolly. I don't know. I might be saying it wrong, but there are people who share with you how to increase your viewership. Doing amazing with helping people create thumbnails and creating banners and effective banners and marketing. And that's her background. That's what she does. And she's sharing that on YouTube for free. So don't be afraid to reach out and tap into those resources because it's there. And like, it's free 99 on YouTube. Unless you're paying for premium, anybody can go on YouTube. You don't even have to sign in. You don't. You just go there, and there's so much information. There's a lot of bad things, a lot of negative things out there, but there are a lot of good things. And there are people who are sharing these information, these tips, these strategies. Top 10 things you can do to start your channel. Top 10 things you need before you start. You don't need fancy lighting. You don't need to pay $300, $400, $500, $600, $1,000 for a camera. You don't need to have, and if you're doing the cash budgeting, which I think is amazing because it does actually help finances, you don't need the fancy binders and all the envelopes. Not when you get started. Start with what you have. Some of my favorite videos right now, being absolutely transparent and honest, are the people who are just starting and they have a notebook that they probably picked up from the Dollar Tree or something like that, because you know what they're doing? They're budgeting their money. And some people still haven't mastered that. They don't even do it. And what's happening is they're in a perpetual cycle of living, having enough money, always looking for a handout because they don't even use what they have wisely. So my favorite videos, to be very honest with you, is not the ones where it's like all the fancy spreadsheets, although they're very pretty and nice and I like them. I like to see people sit down and say, I'm going to do my budget, and they get a sheet of paper. And that's how I started. And I think I might do a series about that because it's been on my heart for a while. And again, I've had doubts because I don't know who's going to watch this. Is it going to mean anything? It doesn't have to get 1 million views. It just has to get video. And this helped me so much. I might do a beginning, a very basic beginner's budgeting, pulling out your bank statement, getting a blank sheet of paper and a pencil and formulate something, get it down, because you don't need the fanciest of everything. You don't need the fanciest Apple products. You do not need to music subscriptions, all of that, because those things, yes, they pull more people in, but if you're design, got to start with the basics and focus on that first and then build up from there, right? I hope that makes sense. All right, let me go to the comments because I'm sure I missed a lot. I'm so glad you liked it. Thank you. I took public speaking in college. I majored in broadcast journalism, but I didn't finish. I've enjoyed it since my junior year of high school. And I guess, sometimes fear, hey, Nija, sometimes fear pushes us back and we don't do the thing that we're good at. But it's time for us to get better. I love that you guys share each other's happy mail. That's so awesome. All right. So what did you guys think of today's message? And let me go back to see what some of you said you were afraid. I know some of you said perfection. Paula said, always looking after kids, family, etc., not really doing me at all. And that's something we as mothers, we have to remember not to be guilty about it, not to feel guilty about it. You shouldn't feel guilty about it because before your kids got here, it was just you. And I listened to a portion, most of it, not all of it, Michelle from Free to Fly Journey shared a very emotional and vulnerable video either yesterday or today. And basically, a lot of mothers feel the same way. They feel like, oh my gosh, I can't neglect my kids. My kids need this. My kids need that. My kids want to do this. My kids want to do that. But if you burn yourself out trying to please them and you're not fully happy and you're not healthy, then you're basically doing them a disservice. You have to look into what's going on with you and get rid of that fear, because we most of the time, I want to say, as my short experience being a mother, percent of the time we have to model the behavior that we want them to display. And if we're modeling, oh, kill yourself for me, and that's what I'll do with my children, then you're not doing any, you're doing them a disservice. You're doing yourself and them a disservice. Mothers need care too, and not just the cliche self-care, go get your manicure and pedicure or go get a massage. Like, sit down and read your Bible. Sit in quiet for a while. Take yourself out to lunch. Like that, like, do something for you, because if you're not well and healthy in every area, there's no way you can parent your kids well. And that's just something I've learned recently. Like, I've got to take care of me, you know. I'm trying to catch up. Exactly. My mom used to say, nothing beats a failure but a try. I love that. I love that. Awesome. So I hope that you guys got sharing. I always find value in your content. I appreciate that. I know God be so mad at me sometimes. A little girl done told you. I feel like that too. He's like, I feel like sometimes God, he kisses his teeth, or he sucks his teeth, like, I told you, but you didn't listen. Or I was talking to you and you weren't hearing me. It's just weird. Oh, I love you. Exactly. Own it. You are a big deal and you need to own it. Exactly. That just makes this worth it. Hey, Shalise, I don't know when you came in. I'm sorry. How are you? Oh, yes, her podcast. I think I didn't watch it, but I listened to the latest episode. And sometimes I'm doing other things, so I don't get the comment. But remember, it's the lessons from the mistakes that give you value, because you learn something that increases your value. So all of the, wait, you guys are commenting and I can't keep up. Yes, take some time for yourself. My self-care is going to be at 8 p.m. Hubby handles the rest. I close the door and turn on my home shows until I fall asleep. I like that. I would love that, just to be able to sit in my room, lock the door, and watch whatever I want. And y'all leave me alone. Let me watch my shows. Yes. Time for you is important. Even if it's a drive in the car, if you can get away from them for a while, take a drive somewhere. You know, not aligning with my true purpose, knowing I only get one chance to live. In this earth, we're going to be here, what, for 100 years at most? So take care of doing what you can, and letting your light, your true light and your greatness shine through, because the light doesn't come from you itself. It comes from the one who created you. I go to bed at 8 p.m. Oh, I wish I could go to bed at 8 o'clock. Ah, all right, you guys. I hope that was helpful. It seems like it was helpful. And I hope that if you are watching the replay, that you don't forget to click the like button. Please click like on the video, because click like, YouTube sends it out to more people who need to see it. And despite the hiccups, I hope that the message is clear for those of you watching the replay. Thank you so much for commenting on this video. Thank you so much for doing all the things to get YouTube to recognize that I am here. And Since there are still, looks like 11 of you here, I want to tell you that I have created another channel. This is my third channel. But the budgeting and the cash stuffing. So the savings challenges, and then doing things like stuffing cash into my boys' binders. So I have 3 sons, if you haven't been here before, and I'm starting them with cash envelopes so they can see how to save and manage their money using the physical cash, especially, well, for all of them, but I have a teenager and then I have little ones, like small children who are like in preschool. So I'm teaching them also with counting and with, just being able to that sort of thing. So I'm going to be cash stuffing on another channel. I'm going to try to link it here in case you haven't seen it yet. I do batch record my videos. So the video, I have some videos like that are scheduled to go live at a certain date. So I think Saturday, you'll probably see my budget closeout video. And in that video, I share, how I don't want to mess up the algorithm here on this channel, and the same thing on my lifestyle channel. It's different content, and I'm just giving myself grace to be creative and to share my real life journey in hopes to inspire and motivate and encourage women and wives and mothers and entrepreneurs all alike. But this channel that I just posted here is going to be just for cash savings challenges and stuffing envelopes. And then I do have only video that's on that channel right now that's live is the like the introduction. So yeah, but there are videos they're going to be posting soon. They're going to go live. So I don't know, again, I don't remember who asked the question about the fear of getting started. Now, I don't know, again, if that was strictly for budgeting. If you're here and you asked for this video, I'm sorry that I forgot who it was, but let me know what you meant. Were you asking about getting started on YouTube? Were you asked about, starting budgeting? Want to start a YouTube channel? Let me tell you something. If you have a passion or something you want to share, be authentic, be you, but also don't be afraid to step out there and try things and see what works for you. Because that's what I'm doing. And by the grace of God, he's going to be glorified, and I'm going to, see that people are being inspired in some way. And that, again, just for my children, because it's like, I don't want to be here doing the thing that I really love, which showing people how to do it in simple ways, and then have the cash stuffing, because I'm not like an all cash budgeter. I don't stuff cash for like my bills and things like that. I like transferring from one account to the next because that just works for me. But the cash part for the challenges, that is fun, and I don't want to confuse the algorithm on this channel. So thank you everybody who subscribed. And what else? There's that. I'm working on some new things on Amazon through KDP. That's another thing. If you have a book idea, do not sleep on these like side hustles, because these are ways to create passive income. And that's another thing that I will be talking about even more soon for the legacy builders, for the members, of course, because again, some things my husband was like, we're going to share just a certain people. But when I tell you, there are so many different ways that you can create passive income, and it will not take the life and breath out of you to do it. What else? Of course, YouTube is a passive way. It's a lot of work. YouTube is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But if you enjoy being creative, if you enjoy talking to people, if you just enjoy having a community to, keep you accountable and to converse with, then the work won't seem like a burden. It will just be a space and time to do. So thank you everybody for being here. I love you all. I really do. I love all of you, especially that you are not like stoning me for starting another channel. because that was in my mind. So I was like, girl, you got to get past that. Like, we are over that already. We've already decided this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do it. Right? Because, and we're not going to make it stressful. We're going to enjoy it and have fun with it. So I hope you guys like the video when it comes out on, I think I scheduled it for Saturday at probably really early in the morning. I'm checking my phone. So I think I did it for like 6 o'clock on the Saturday because I like to just get it out early. Yeah, Saturday at 6 a.m. That's when the first video goes live. The first full length video goes live. And then I'm trying out shorts because when they say our attention spans are like the size of ants, like they really are. Like some people really cannot sit through more than 25 seconds of a short. It's like, oh my goodness. So I've been having fun creating shorts, trying to keep them under 15 seconds. See how that goes, but I have fun with it. Hey, Brittany, I hope you are feeling much better. And what did I say? My throat is hot. I said it so fast. What did I say? Thank you everybody for subscribing to the other channel. And I think that's it for this week. I don't know what next week's topic is going to be, but if you have something that you would like to discuss, or you would like to talk about, please don't hesitate to put a comment under this video after it goes live on YouTube. Please put a comment and let me know, because, you know, I want to keep providing value and we want to be necessary to talk about. Well, I'm glad you're still getting better. I hope you're getting some rest and that your kids or your husband is pampering you. So I will be back on Thursday next week, and I can't wait to talk to y'all in the comments on Saturday's video. So mind your money, you guys. Manage it well and live your lives abundantly. Thank you again for being here. Bye for now.